Hello, welcome to LTM Reviews, where I get you caught up on the oldest movies. Welcome back from a long August. I know it's still August, but at least I was able to finish pretty early, so that's good. Memetasia 2 was recently out, go check that out, and I'm finally doing my Ralph Bakshi-a-thon, so that's great. So, what am I going to review today? Let's talk about, in honor of the new Angry Birds movie coming out this weekend, I'd rather check out the first one and see if it's as good as I remembered it, if it's as bad as I remembered it. Let's see. So in Angry Birds, you got an island full of birds. One of them played by Red, played by Jason Sudeikis. I can't say his last name right, but anyways, you got a bird named Red who has anger issues, and the town doesn't like that. So he has this anger management where he meets Chuck, a yellow bird played by Josh Gad, and Danny McBride as this black bird named Bomb. And while working on their anger management, they meet there's this gang of pigs who end up on the island and trying to take over the birds' eggs. They steal the eggs, but now the birds have no eggs, and now it's up to Red. Now Red has a plan in order to bring the eggs back to the island, and that's, if you've played the game Angry Birds like I did, you probably know what it is. Slingshotting the birds use their superpowers to just destroy the castle. So, if you're like me and you grew up in the, if you're like me and you love video games, then you probably know what Angry Birds is. It's a movie based on a video game, and, well, let's just put it this way. Not a lot of films do this pretty well. I mean, yeah, we've got some recent examples like Rampage, Detective Pikachu, and, well, those are the only two good video game movies I know, but you get my point. Video game movies have a hard time getting a good receptions, even at box office. I remember the very first Super Mario Brothers movie. I mean, now I never saw the movie back then, but I heard it was a big failure. It had a rough production. Fans hated it, critics hated it. It was a box office bomb that killed the Super Mario franchise for a while. And then they would get back on their feet with the new games, but you get my point. So video game movies are not really anything. Although they are a good way of introducing new stories and characters, they don't really, it's basically the world that they're set in. I'll give Angry Birds this. They do have a very good job introducing the characters and introducing the environment and how it works. However, that doesn't mean Angry Birds is not really a good movie. It's not the worst or anything of 2016, but it is pretty much of that year, but it was a pretty dumb movie to get through. It's not awful. Let me go ahead and give it to the positives. Love the animation. Probably the most underrated animation I've seen. A little cartoony at times, but it actually kind of takes it for its advantage. I do like Danny McBride as the Bomb. You know, it's Danny McBride. He's always funny. And I do like the pigs in this movie. I mean, as annoying as they are, even though they are just bland and generic villains, I do kind of like the actors that play the pigs and the animation that's on them. But the problems are the storyline and that Red is pretty unlikable. Now, I don't hate Jason. I love the guy. He's from We're the Millers and Horrible Bosses, but I don't know. I don't think Red is a great character. Kind of unlikable at times. Even the rest of the town was pretty unlockable. It feels like Chicken Little a little bit with the whole mean-spirited tone to it. Though that's another story for another time. But anyways, the movie has a very distinct mean tone to it, much like a lot of films. But you know, that's just me. So I do like the action scenes though. That's a good thing. Let's see, animation, Danny McBride's voice acting, character. Action scenes, the pigs. Only 4 positives I know. The soundtrack, yes, the soundtrack is catchy, especially that new version of I Will Survive. Though I would prefer the original, but that's just me. So overall, kind of a mixed bag, but Angry Birds was just a mediocre movie. It's not horrible, like I said. The biggest problems are the storyline, the main character, and its tone. Though technically the action scenes and the pigs and the animation steal the show. But that's not really much of a recommendation. I give the Angry Birds movie a 5 out of 10. It's not horrible, it's not painful, it's just generic and kind of forgettable. Though I heard that the sequel is getting good reviews, so I'm hoping to go check that out pretty soon. So, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please subscribe, comment below, let me know. What am I gonna do next? Well, I've been getting a lot of requests to do this. Ever since I started this show, I've been getting a lot of requests to do this next one we're gonna do. But let's just say, we're gonna go back to the 80s. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's gonna get ugly. This is LTM signing out. Oh boy.
Oh, no, he'll take it. Get it. Get the paddle. He wants to take it with him.
The tiger actually did it. There's Half Peak. Next stop, Glacier Pass.
Here's that little fella. You're almost home. Come on, keep up with me. Wow, I wish I could jump like that.
Wish granted.